I'm Melanie Trailer. Today's video is for the beginner quilter who is just starting out buying fabric. We're going to look at the different cuts of fabric and how they work, what they look like, and all their measurements. Okay, so this is a 1 yard cut of fabric. It, is 36 inches right here. And it opens up to be 42 to 44 inches wide. It varies depending on the manufacturer you're looking at, but usually around 42 to 44. That width, that's called the width, right? That unfold is the width, and this would be the length. So it doesn't matter if your length is shorter, longer, whatever the measurement is, this is always the width, always. Fabric comes with this selvage. This is a solid fabric, but let me show you what it looks like on print fabric because it looks a little bit different. This is Art Gallery. This is included in your fabric. So if you got a yard fabric cut, a yard fabric, so 36 inches by the 42 to 44 in width, that's pretty much unusable for the majority of us. That's included in that measurement. Here's what it looks like on my own personal fabrics. And you can see on the one side, on the one end of that width, you've got the names. Usually it has like the name of the company who printed it, the name of the designer, the name of the fabric collection, sometimes, hopefully, occasionally, the name of the print, or at least the number of the print. And then on the other side of that selvage, it just has a rough piece, like a thicker edge. There's a couple of holes in it, and you can see, well, it looks like the print starts all the way from the beginning, but normally when we cut fabric, we're cutting this part off. I would actually, when I cut fabric, keep it together, and then I cut this off, which also cuts that back end off. But all fabric comes with that selvage. Then on a solid fabric, you can see that selvage, and this even has, a frayed edge, but there's the dots. It's a little bit rough. It's on both sides of it. That's called selvage. All right, so let's get back to our measurements. And I'm going to do, common measurements. So this is what a yard of fabric looks like, and this is what you would be getting if you purchased a yard of fabric anywhere. If you purchased a 1/4 yard of fabric, let's see what that looks like. So that a 1/4 yard of fabric is 9 inches. They would cut it for you on the 9-inch line. And this is what you would get. You'd get 9 inches in length, and it would still be that 42 to 44 inch width. All right, so that's what a 1/4 yard of fabric would look like. All right, let's do a 1/2 yard. A 1/2 yard is 18 inches. I'll just put this to the side. And this is our 18-inch piece. So we have 18 inches in length, and we've still got that 42 inch in width, 42 to 44. The next most common is going to be a fat quarter. Fat quarter, let me show you how they cut fat quarters. First, we cut the 18 inches in width. Then we open it up and we cut right here on that manufacturer's fold. So now you've got a fabric that is, around 22 inches, around 22 inches. Sometimes it's only 21, and that's not even usable space. Remember, you've got the selvage. This measurement across here, this 22 approximately, includes that selvage. It's 18 here, 22 here. So that's what a fat quarter is. A fat eighth would be cut right down the middle. Let me get a little. All right, Now this is a fat eighth. They're not as common for sure, and especially in quilt patterns. They're not as common, but they are a great thing to have, especially if you're wanting a scrappier looking quilt, or if you want to buy a whole collection but your budget only is enough for the fat eighths. So I've started seeing a lot of the manufacturers cut fat eighths bundles now, but it is 9 inches this way and 22 this way. All right, so there is your look at fabric cuts. I hope that answered a couple of questions that I've been getting recently about sizes, how it's cut, and selvages. Just remember that that width can vary on your half yard, your fat quarter. That width is varying. It's usually the width of a half yard is 42 to 44 inches. The width of a fat quarter is around 22 inches. That measurement always includes the selvage. The length of your piece, 18 inches for a fat quarter, 18 inches for a half yard, 9 inches for a quarter yard. That measurement should be accurate when you get it. So if you go to the store or order fabric online and get a half yard, it should be 18 inches, but the width can vary. So I just wanted to stress that. Also, in the video, I was demoing on quilting cotton. If you are ordering a different kind of fabric, it may have a different width. So if you're shopping for fabric in person, you would look at the top of the bolt and it would tell you how wide that fabric is. And if you are shopping online, it will be in the description. So quilting cotton is usually 42 to 44 inches, but if you purchase something like a woven fabric, wovens sometimes can be 50 inches. Not always, but sometimes they are. And if you're purchasing wide backs, those can be anywhere from 108 inches to 118 inches. So definitely look at what you're buying. All right, so I think that's it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will see you next time.